Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, welcome to Sisanga Family Business. We're gonna be talking about the goat stock. Yeah, like you see in our video, our mothers are trying to come back from the field. Yeah, we only show you our mothers. Our mothers are trying to come back from the field, saying to go to the main farm. Yeah, that's how our goats assistant mix farm are. Please book our meat. Our goat's meat muchomo. Mukubama sima mwodari ngenye mea mwe mbuzi ya tuse. Iva tukeko iwakawa mwe. Udari ngenye magugu gokuwa vukubisim. Mashinika pini wori. Mashinika sene kumobaru mani. No, what is it? TID nambe ya mobaru mani no reference nambe yo. Wenurinda Buddha komoriangogo. Ujakura wa Buddha nga kubidina hugambandi wa nuasika duka owa kumeni jango no nenye mayo. Nari kuchitun chichinino. Sisanga mix farm. Turi esinya mayembuzi okutuka kumuntu wa wansi. Ubei yara isin yudala. Bei ya siku siku. Tichubura diogira wanu nebu kubisim. Ujakura venya mekutuwa koni mwendo di bakuwa. Ukaka senti. Akanyama satuf. Wakari kubeye yutuchi. Wasonga fetwe rundide guziza fi. Akem guziza fizidi halad. Tis yunda wundi nyonga bulava video. Atudeyo. Mu. Dagarari tukudisa. Mungusi. Dagarari tukudisa mungus. Bane dagari tukwesa mungusi challenge nyenenyo. Divo te girati dagari nkwesa. Diro mani anti dagari nkwesa di thick. Diro chite gira. Ne dadaru kakasa. Itagaru kudisa. Dizia 100%. Fuk irarigina kuri chichuo. Soris gulide. Ow. Wari chiguze chidini. That's the big question we will ask ourselves, Paul. Are the drugs I've bought for my goats, gonna work for the same treatment I've been told? Are these drugs the right content which is gonna treat my animal? Are these chemicals in the drugs, are they the right ones or the fake ones? How are you gonna know? And how are you gonna tell with the market of Uganda, whereby we are buying bad or fake drugs on the market, yet we pay our money? You'd take it to a goat to treat it, and the goat is not changing, the goat is still getting more sick, the goat has died. When you bought the drug didn't react at all, as if you didn't even inject the drug in the goat. That one happens. I keep on seeing it at Sisanga Mix Farm for the past 4 years. I keep on seeing in the goats farming. It's 4 years. I keep on seeing this happening. You buy a drug, but I went up on to ask myself, why? I bought the same drug. The vet told me to buy the same drug. They made an autopsy and they treat me on the same drug. Why is this drug not working on my animals? Why has my animal died? We need accountability there. We should get accountability. We should get accountability on what has happened. Let us not be silent on something which has happened. Let us speak out and get to know why has my ghost died, or why do I have this death at my farm, yet I bought those drugs. Signed out, sit down, write out, signed out the problem. Don't sit without finding the solution. That means you're not a farmer, you're not an entrepreneur, you don't know what you're doing, because you're gonna buy the same drug and those ghosts are gonna get the same disease. Back to the bad drugs. Because you bought drugs which were substandard. Fake drugs. The drugs within the content which is inside is not the one. You only see the label and the picture, but you don't know what is inside. For our government, UNBS, the standards, they don't know. They do know nothing. They just hold offices and take bribe. Because the drugs which are in Kodena village, where is like the main suppliers of the animal drugs in the whole Uganda. That's where you can go and get something, the whole Uganda. But that place has fake, substandard drugs. It's only a few shops there which have the right drugs. Kubanga wali bakadidi banj, banaba ilibi banj, amaduka bubura banama nini, they have fake drugs. Apart from the few who have genuine products, who have genuine drugs. Guys, pay attention on the drugs. We are losing our animals because of the drugs on the market. We are infecting diseases with people eat from the meat, whereby the animals are not well treated, where animals are not well grazed. And due to the treatment of bad drugs in the animals if are eating the same meat, and what happened to the human being? Let government streamline the way those drugs are being handled. There are a lot of fake drugs, substandard drugs, drugs which are not working when they're only scamming Ugandans. You go and buy drugs for chicken, for goat, when they are not working. You may think even the inside they are put oil instead of the exact chemical. You inject both, a drug, and it doesn't shake. It still dies the next day. You keep on getting those deaths at your farm. Then you go down and ask yourself why. At us as Sisanga Mix Farm, we have a goat app where we track its health, its production, its birth, everything, and its treatment. Treatments are written there in the app. But you go to down to do you analyze what at the end of the year, what has been happening at the end of the month at your farm. You see the deaths, you see the treatments of the goat which died. Go down to that drug. Measure the drug. The content with the litmus paper and everything. Get all this to measure what is the content, which is the potassium, everything which is inside. We don't know, we don't have where to report these people. We only don't have where to report these people. And we don't have time because of the corruption on who is gonna help me. Which judge is gonna say the truth, because even everything is right mixed up. These shops, the retail shops, the big companies bring substandard drugs, fake drugs on the market. As Ugandans, as poor farmers, as peasants, we go and buy those drugs, expecting better results for our animals to be treated. I'm telling you, these drugs are not working. You treat your animals, end up die. That's why as farmers we are making more losses. As government should come out to help farmers. We're feeding the nation, but the drugs we are trying to feed from the money we have sourced in different ways. On the hard ways, we get the money, we source them, we try to do small businesses. You go to buy the drugs from these rich companies. Some of them call themselves investors. Not Uganda, but they call them investors, the expatriate bought from the other country to come and help, but they still make retail shops. And they sell fake, bad drugs which we treat with our animals. It's only a few shops, a few, which sell their red drugs. I've been with this research for almost 2 years on drugs, finding out what is really killing my animals, where am I going wrong, what is happening, how can I understand my business more. It's only that munaikanatay na wakabira, na wawaba, na wakubira mulanga. It's no company nene ezitunda amadagara amafu, agata tweetinga, bishurubi afi, ogena no glidagara, kukotina village. No geno tweeting embuzi vitatwako chechukaku. Ugamba yisa budra idegoro with the mitoritan. Asidiko kadjawala. Obuzebi fu, government bidisibida ku market. N'abantu babuliju banayigana awo bagenda basuubula ebifo bajje babireete ku market ya Uganda batubiifa abanaku. So bapize tukundawo tugambe obulimi tebuli mu ssente. Naye abakulembeze baffe mutuyambidde wa? Yunaje muri mpaka ko erosi. Okute erosi 5 wadi raisi sketsi so wadi raisi zakaduka. Tomani cheka genda kutumba kadetse di bikemiko kakukere demkarte di mobuto kayongede mobuto mwonji. Atega mukemiko na yongera kobuto na juzao. Wulaba kontenti yemu. No kubendaga embuzi daga nita no fuira. Evyuka kumbuzi ngura tuwe chiuka chifako. Nebu jiraba ngenku jiraba. Mudi fuira tenyeni. Ni waruwa manuka go genda mnogure dagara. Muri vangari kura. Membuzi siyama. Muje mukwesi moyo wansi. Kuwabulire amaduka chagatundi dagarana dagarachiriye wa. Edbunji erikula mumbuzi munkoko ni mukasuri. Kubebe bitumani. Kubesimba kubuli where consultation where. So long as it's booking and it's calling by appointment mobile kurangesimwere busy. Call the next day. Call the next minute. Call the next hour. Na yet, kurekerahu ugula edagara ebi ediri kumaketi diritono diritwete dukufirwa ebisoro byafsi. Ngate tuteka mu sente zafse je tukore twite ebisoro. Abagadabu na babakuru kuguka. Wati bafre bagatu babubi. O jenuta sedizom brekidegar ali abogina gula nenyama. Gina buzanika sori. Wogina buzaneve nyade nena kuwe vintu erisu. Ebita kulanga chimeni babiziste vikura wavia video expired in. That we could number 2. When the truth say expired. There's here. At Container Village. People, go do research. Go to Container Village. See how many drugs, bottles of drugs which have expiry dates. Look on the drugs you buy. Trace where the one expiry date is and look at the number. Some letters are too faint you can see. Either they're too black. Either they're too small or the texture. These people know what they're doing. Government has to come out to help us. We're losing animals here day by day and we have nobody to account for. Nobody has to up. Nobody we can go to account for that Minister of Education on land courts. Where are you going to report that guy? Where are you going to report the Home Ministry? To which courts? To which authority? Uganda is bleeding. We're losing money day by day. We get our own footed money from abroad. You bring it back to our own country to invest it, to make a change to our community, to our parents, to our citizens. But it's like a group of citizens are there to kill everything which is come. Please come out and help us with these drug shops which are selling substandard drugs at the market where we are losing as farmers. We are losing as farmers and we are dying with losses and yet we have loans, bills, workers to pay. Guys, we shouldn't be floating and making losses. A Ugandan should be proud of himself that have made a profit. It's not only these people who are expatriate. You bring from other countries Indians and you give them tax exemptions, tax credits. That's why they are there, because for the tax credits and the tax exemption, they made profit. They will tell you their books are making profit because they are like, did we be given C money? They're tax exempted. They're not paying taxes. Yet for us Ugandans, we even have a small shop. You can buy their own chemicals, the fake chemicals they bring for us, the bad chemicals. We pay taxes. We don't make profit. We keep on floating, hoping one day, putting our hands in the air, hoping one day that we shall get profit. How did we reach there? Without patience, although we are patient, we are kind, we are human. It's time for Ugandans to ask for accountability to anybody who is not willing to provide it, or whom we have given power or a position, yet is not bringing results. Guys, it's time. Because we're losing. Our kids are losing. Our future generation is like losing. What are we leaving ahead for them? Bad drugs on the market when all animals are dead. Guys, what you feed these animals is what you treat with these animals, the bad drugs, the bad chemical, everything, like those people who do zero grazing. Hell nah. At least free range like us Sesame from, the free range goats go out and eat different types of food. Battle with the zero grazing, where you gonna feed them on drugs and everything. This drugs on the market are substandard. Bad drugs is only few shops which sell good drugs, and we shall tell you those shops which sell good drugs, and we shall advertise those drugs which are really doing a change, or companies shall really making a change, a positive change in Uganda, providing quality drug for our animals, for our crops, and for our livelihood, because it all comes there. The meat we eat and was retreated. Which drugs are we treating them? How are we taking care of them? That's why I tell that sometimes it's swamp, time and buy the goat's meat. You know. You are aware where it's coming from, which type of farm. Eat what you know. Eat what you understand, so that you can prevent some diseases. Eat what you know. Cancer is real, but how does it come? Let's try to find out what we do. Let us not leave the rest to others to think for us. It's time for Ugandans, this generation, to decide and think for ourselves. Let us value our souls. Let us give value to our lives and our souls. If you can't value your life, then you're worthless. Let's go to number 2. I will say measurements. But let me go back. Who prescribes these drugs for you? Ani akugamba nti gula eddagala lino ova lino. Ani alikulagirira? Otegeera otya nti nagula eddagala limu n'embuzi yarwadde eddagala? Yarwadde bulwadde buno. Nafuna bagina ku measurements number 3. How do you know that my goat is sick, or this drug has been, I should buy this drug? You need a vet. You need a farm doctor. Yes. Which type of farm doctor? Which type of farm doctor do you have? Because we're going to have these farm doctors. A farm doctor who doesn't know what to do. There are those people who have names. At the village, I told you in the other episodes of the goat story. Somebody that has been years and years at the village, they call him a doctor because he has been seeing how goats are being treated. But he cannot do an autopsy. He cannot analyze anything. That's really absurd. If somebody gives you directions like that, then you're gonna mess up your what? You're gonna mess up your farm. The other people we give trust, the people in the shops, the drug shops where we go to buy things. You go to a drug shop to buy drugs for your animals. You find there a boy or a girl. They're sellers. They're retailers. There is no vet, because always vets are not there. They are like movie. You ask them, this one, what is the measurements? What can I put there? Those girls don't know. Don't take their words. Unless it shows you a certificate. Unless you achieve a certificate of what he's telling you. Or unless when it was written there in marker before, by the vet. They don't know. Those are students from Makerere. People dropouts. People who didn't go to school or who went to school little and he's just there. He's giving you drugs because he crammed. He doesn't know nothing. He can't even read the quote behind it. Are you paying your money to start without due diligence, without consulting, without knowing what you're paying for? Are you calling yourself a farmer, a boss, an entrepreneur? I believe you're lying to yourself. You're not, because you're not doing enough. You just let other things for you decide for your farm. Those ladies there don't know those drugs, because their vets aren't always there. It's few shops in Kampala where the vet is always there. When you ask, how does this medicine for the chicken treat? Mr. Wafewuri Mobuzi is rare to be when he is there, and when you call them at the farm, they don't come. Customer care should be implemented by law and the government in the needs of agriculture. We need to open up a drug shop. It should provide the customer care from here until to the farm. Receive calls when you don't receive calls to tell you how to use the drug, or in case of anything, you answerable. Let us have people who are answerable. Let us help people whom we can question and own their responsibility. When they have done wrong, let them be fired, let them pay. Let them resign. We should have accountability, so that when we have accountability, we can vary our man. Because you have to have a good vet, a vet who knows what to do, a vet who went to school, a vet who has a certificate or a degree in vetting to treat animals. Like how at Chisanda Mix Farm, we are training our certified farm assistants and farm assistants, those in goats, chicken, and maize. We train them. Then after them acquiring knowledge, we put them to answer. We don't just get you there and just put you there. No. You don't know what you're doing. Do you know? People are saying yes. Don't accept the mouse. Ugandans are old. What comes out of their mouth is not the one. Yes. Make him practical. Let him do the practical. Make a good vet who is gonna give you the exact measurements you need at your farm when you're trying to treat your animals. And guys, these shops, the measurements, the ones are not seen. You companies, please increase the measurements. Increase the measurements of your water. Increase the measurements at your farm. Increase the measurements on the product you're selling, on the product. There's letters there. The words. Let the numbers be seen. Put this site big numbers for those people who are elder in the village whose eyes have already gone. When they are like big fronts, then the other side, small fronts for the people from Lena, for with the normal eyes. Then put 2 languages or 3. Put English, put Uganda, put Swahili. But you put one thing. Really? Not Uganda? We should have a common language. Most of people didn't go to school to know English. All the English is our official language. That is not true. We should simplify our citizens. This is what I say, which I keep on telling. If you're importing a drug, we got it from outside country. Modify it with the conditions of Uganda. Don't just bring that's how it's made in England, or that's how it's made in the US. No. Modify it and bring it to the ground, to the condition favorable, to the grounds of Uganda. That will make sense. And government should also implement and help these other people who are coming out to do better, because these drugs, NBS and Ministry of Agriculture, we're really dying as farmers. We are really dying, buying drugs which are not working. They're there in the market, they have the names. But the names don't correspond with what is inside the bottle. Eringerire kunguru, obura antibiotics, munda si antibiotics. Wa antibiotics omwembuzi netachukako, antibiotics omutuufu omwembuzi nekyukako. Truth need to be told, but we're losing money here in drugs. Because with drugs, good vets, government has Ministry of Agriculture. That course, since we are the backbone of our backbone is agriculture, we should have its own substandard costs. They should hire vets in the districts. These government vets are for payment, which you see in the district. It's even easy not. You cannot get even the guy. How are you gonna get him? He has like 100 farms in the whole district. It's really tough. With farmers with drugs, guys, time out here facing a lot of challenges in drugs, and we're losing our animals with these drugs. Because these are big people, these are big companies. Who will shut you up? Who's gonna make you quiet where you don't have to report, but it's time to shout. We will shout. We're losing. We're not making profit. We're only floating. If you look at your fixed costs and your valid costs, And look at your profits. The balance sheet is not coming out. The drugs are taking a lot of money because you're taking something which is need breaking. Guys, the whole password as farmers with the drug problems. Thank you for listening to Sesanga Family Business, Sesanga Mix Farm. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.